So we got 39.1 hours on this thing. I just fixed the key to the best of my ability here. Turned it on, 39.1. I noticed there was some rattling going on up here. I think that branch hit more of the top of the motor because there's a loose piece right here. That goes to something. There's wood in here. So that's not good. Yeah, that's loose. It doesn't look like the cover's broken, but this air filter box got dinged. And it looks like we broke off the breather that goes back to the gas tank. So this front cover is broken, which probably just cosmetic, but there's some plastic here. Not ideal. Let's set that. Yeah, there's a barb fitting in there. Looks like there's a sharp piece of red plastic there, so maybe ding that cover as well. Let's just look here. Take you guys along here handheld. All right, I think the top of the motor is okay, or at least the air cleaner part. So we didn't get any further in. Trying to take care not to drop anything down the middle there. Well, you guys know anywhere we can get replacement parts? So I think we need the top of this air cleaner box. Maybe this front insignia, but I'm not sure if that does anything other than just tell you that it's a Honda IGX 800. And then with that, I think we'll get the new plug here. That looks like that either screws in or is molded to that. Yeah. All right. Here's the scuffs on the motor, on the air cleaner cap. Well, it's a Honda. Let's see if it starts. Well, that's a good sign. Like I said, I don't know how critical this is. I'm going to call Wolfe Ridge on Monday and see about getting some replacement parts for this, or just contacting my local Honda dealer and yeah, getting that stuff on order. So, all right, I got something else to noodle on, protecting this motor more than it is. I'm thinking drilling a couple holes down here, adding some angle iron with some uprights. Not that this is ever going to happen again now. We got the one time out of the way, but yeah. Oh, they scuffed my sticker too. Jeez. I'm gonna need a new sticker. I think we'll be okay. All right. Well, now I'm just kind of looking over this thing again to make sure that it really didn't get busted up. I don't see any more dents and dings. Do you guys see anything? I always find detail in videos. I think we may be okay. I think the brunt of it hit the cylinder and the motor case, unfortunately. So, all right, well, there's what we got stacked this morning. So thanks for coming along with me. We got a good chunk of this pile cleaned up. I would say there's probably another face cord here laying on the ground, maybe a little light of that, but with what's left here to split, we'll definitely have another face cord or two, kind of anticipating getting a cord out of what was sitting here. So I think that'll come to fruition. Yeah, interesting times. Well, you guys have a good day. We'll talk to you later. Today we're in the shop, and well, a couple things happened a couple weeks ago. One, we had a pretty good windstorm, and unfortunately a branch fell out of one of the cottonwoods, which I'll roll in some of those clips now, but basically it struck kind of right through here on the Wolfe Ridge. So I'm standing next to the motor, right side, and the branch came down out of the cottonwood, about a, I don't know, 3-4 inch branch. You guys will see it, and basically hit the left control lever or the auto retract and kicked that either into cycle or out, something like that. I forget what I did. Scratched up a couple of the stickers, not a huge deal, and I actually didn't notice most of it. I just thought the branch landed here, and this unit being as robust as it is, took the brunt of it, steel fenders and all, and I thought we were good to go. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I started it up to make sure that everything was okay, and I found some plastic rattling over here. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so when I turned this on, I noticed, and I haven't cleaned anything up yet, there was a scuff mark here. Looked like underneath the A here, there's a little bit of wood stuck there. So that branch came down and kind of smoked this cover, kind of right through here, right? This was always kind of bent. This is just the lifting eye. Scuffed the top of the throttle control here. Just cosmetics. This piece cracked, but under the air cleaner cover, this is okay. There's some extra plastic here that's missing, and this is supposed to be attached to that cover. So there's a piece of plastic in there that broke off right here. There's a little hole. So a little bit of plastic broke off basically right there. There's a hole with a barbed fitting on it that takes the line from the gas tank. It's just a bleeder valve, or a bleeder, that comes back up into the air box. And so that broke off. So that piece of wood must have landed about right here. So it cracked here, broke this plastic off in here, and broke this piece. So nothing wrong with the air cleaner. No other damage that I can see. The oil fill cap, good condition, gasket's good. But what this video was going to be was kind of taking this apart. Kind of brings me back to my mini bike days and go-karts and whatnot. You could bring this in, so I called our local Honda dealer. They said, oh yeah, we can get you in like a month. I thought, well, this isn't that hard, it's just a small engine. So there's some debris and stuff in here, and I should get a vacuum, and I think we're just going to lift this off so it won't be an issue, but I'll show you the parts that we got. All right, so what I did was I went online. I went to a site called Parts Tree, PARTSTREE.com, and they sell all kinds of Honda engine parts, or Honda small engines rather. You can buy complete motors, you can buy parts and pieces. They've got, if you know the model engine that you have, you can look at exploded diagrams, so you can get, you know, a whole new assembly here. If you in the case of the 800, it's EFI, but if you had the carbureted 630, you could get a whole new carb assembly, you could get a whole new airbox, you could get a whole new front cover, whatever that is that you need, you could get it there, including an entire new motor. So I kind of remembered that kind of thing from back in the mini bike days. Someday we'll get that thing out and rip it around, but that's also running a Honda motor. It's about a 160cc, I think, if memory serves. It was a 4-horse at the time. Good story. We cut the frame in half, stretched it, because we bought a motor that didn't fit in the frame. Go figure. But anyhow, so I knew you could get these parts online. So went digging, found what we needed, talked to Wolfe Ridge, got the exact model number. It's not just a GX 800. I'll try and figure out how to put that in the video, but there's about 4 more letters and a couple of numbers in there, something like that. It's basically something A2 is what I remember. But anyhow, you find that ensures that you get the right parts diagram, etc., etc. So what we did, or what I did, is from past experiences working with motors and whatnot, I didn't know where I was going to work on this. So I did get a couple extra parts. So one, let's see, what are these? I think there's a couple of, these are a couple of seats in here. So I got a couple extra of those. Didn't know if anything was replaceable or not. This is a cap actually for this. So that little nub that sticks out here, this is the rubber cap that goes on there. Again, I don't need it because I'm actually going to connect the gas line to it, or the breather line. But it was a couple dollars, and it was like, well, it's on part of the engine diagram, so I grabbed it. Then I grabbed one extra screw or bolt in case I drop one or lose one or whatever. You guys know how that goes. So a couple of part numbers for that. This was a $2.50 part. This was probably $2. The little air cap and these little bushings or whatever, or another couple bucks. So like 10 bucks in parts that I may never use, but they were available. The next thing I got was a new air cleaner. So as you guys remember, back in May, I think, if you go back probably 10 or so videos ago, we did the oil change on this thing at the 1 year. We had 30 hours on it, give or take. Well, this is a new air filter for the 50-hour mark, which we're at about 40 now. So in another 10 hours, we'll swap out the air cleaner. So I thought it was a good idea, since I was ordering parts anyway. We'll get the air cleaner and we'll just have it on hand, and I don't have to think about it. But here's the part that we really needed. So this will go on just like that. So probably won't need those, but here's the deal. that piece broke. Okay, so top of the motor again. So here's our line coming up. That's gonna go on this piece here. We'll have to take that apart, but that's gonna go there. And then here you can see all the plastic that broke out. So basically, from this corner here, this 45, this entire vertical broke out all the way over to here, and then we lost one of these intake fins as well. So probably would still work. Probably could have rigged this. You know, I started it, it worked, but I just like to have things work properly. So all we're gonna do is swap this out, and as I'm looking at this, I think these are those extra bushings that I ordered that we probably didn't need, but there again, I didn't know if they'd come with it or not. So better to be safe than sorry. These look like they just line up. There's a couple holes here. Those all match. Yeah. So I'm gonna get the correct wrench or the correct nut driver, and we're gonna lift these off. So here we go. There we go, that felt pretty good. Just in case you guys need to take it apart, 10 millimeter, go figure. Jeez. All right, try that again. 10 millimeter socket, didn't have enough torque on the nut driver. There we go. Boy, those are on there tight. Holy moly. All right, now we got it loose. Now we can go to the nut driver. Okay, back to the nut driver. Okay, I'm just gonna drop them in. We got the new one sitting just off to the side of the camera, but I'm gonna drop the bolts I take off in the correct spots so that we, one, count them, and two, I don't drop them someplace. That way, they're varying lengths, we'll have the right ones. This piece should lift off. That goes on there. All right, moment of truth. Did this right, just lifts right off. All right, well, there's the top of the engine. I really wish I had a little mini vacuum. You guys use any kind of like small shop vac, or I'm kind of eyeballing the Milwaukee M18 shop vac for kind of some of these little tasks. So be kind of curious if you guys are running a DeWalt or what do you guys have. So I'm gonna grab before I forget. Proving to be harder than it looks. So all I'm trying to do is, there's one of these, there we go, these little bands. Just trying to get that out, and then, or off, rather. This, however, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna just cut this piece of tubing. I don't know if I can get this out of here without kind of, oh, I got it. Whew, look at that. All right, so that's the piece that broke. So that piece is that piece. So, all right, whoa. Okay, set that aside. We'll need that in a second. Nothing down in the assembly there. So what I need to do is, we're gonna set this on here now, so I gotta take this nut off, these two bolts, and this drops on, like that. Those two bolts go back. Nut. All right. See if we can speed this process up for you guys. Just slowly, just putting these in kind of not even finger tight, just so they grab the threads underneath. So we don't cross thread anything. That would be terrible. I really don't want to do that on a motor that only has 40 hours on it, not even. So, all right, so there's those stuck on there. I'll take our nut driver, snug those up. Just noticed something. I'll show you guys here in a second. Okay, got everything tight. What I didn't realize is there's no gasket in here. So the thing I forgot, you order parts, is sometimes they don't come with everything. Oh no, wait a second. Yeah, there's a gasket here. There it is. So that, yeah, now that looks identical. Okay, just the way it came out, goes back in. This is going to seat for the air filter. There we go. All right. I think, as long as we got this all apart, I think we're going to put that new air filter on. So here, I'm going to push this tubing on for the gas. Just a spring clamp, so that'll work there. And since we're at 40 hours, we're just about, we're gonna put this air cleaner on. We'll keep the other one as a spare, just in case. I mean, it's only got 40 hours on it. But in case you guys are looking, there's the Honda part number. Make sure that's in focus. There we go. 17210, Z as in zebra, 6, L as in Lori, 010. All right. Ooh, we got to torque these down. Almost forgot. don't want to overdo it. You are just tightening on the plastic. I think that's why those metal inserts are there. So if you do overdo it, you don't crack the plastic. But honestly, I don't think this thing is going to vibrate loose and fall off the machine. It's got all kinds of other things. There we go. That feels plenty tight. Okay. Now, air cleaner, the new one. Put that down. And we gotta remember where we put the wing nuts. There it is. Okay. There's the wing nut. Okay. The rest of this is okay. Extra tools. All right. There's our scuff. There's our nice little beauty mark. So I looked for this piece. It wasn't in stock yet, so we're gonna have to wait on that. But I think this is just a cosmetic front, so I didn't take that off. You know, there's nothing. There's one screw hole, I think there, maybe one on the other side. But basically just protects these electronics, and yeah, just didn't see a point yet in fixing that. So put that down, snap it back into place, turn it on, see if she'll fire up. Oops. Perfect. All right, folks, so that's gonna wrap up. Jeez, that's hot. Forgot we started that for a second. That's why there's a guard there. That could have been terrible. Yeah, be safe. Golly. Whew. All right, that's gonna wrap this video up. That was not on purpose. So yeah, you can get replacement parts for the GX800, GX630 through that parts tree. No affiliation, no nothing. I didn't mention I was a YouTube channel or anything silly like that, but yeah, so just a spot where you guys can get spare parts if you need them, air filters, whatnot. You don't have to go to your local dealer. You can just go online. I'm sure most of you guys know that, but this was a pretty pleasant experience. I will definitely order from Parts Tree again. They did kind of hang up the order, in full disclosure. I had ordered a couple more of those bolts, and those were back ordered a week or so. So after a week of not seeing the package or not seeing the shipping, because it said, hey, we'll ship in 3 to 6 days. So I kind of waited 4 or 5 days, gave them a call. They said, oh, well, we're waiting on 2 of these parts that are like $2.49. And I was like, well, that's not the, this part, the bottom of the air cleaner, or the dish here was, I think, don't quote me, it was either $43 or $54. The air filter was the other expensive part, either 43 or 54. So, you know, 50 bucks, give or take. We got a new air filter for it, so all in, I'm like $110 shipping, $10 in tax, with those extra couple of parts that we may or may not ever use, but at least we got them. I'll keep them with the machine. So this is just gonna go in the trash, but yeah, it was a good learning experience. I'll never park this thing under the cottonwood again though. So anyhow, I hope you guys have a great weekend or week, whichever it may be. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day around the yard. Don't forget to leave me a comment down below. Tell me that mufflers are hot. Take care.